Hello friends, welcome to Learner's Planet. Friends, in the previous session, we discussed some questions from CAT 2003. In this session, we'll be taking more questions from the same paper. And I'm sure you are having your paper and pen with you. So let's begin the session. Friends, let's discuss this problem from trigonometry. A car is being driven in a straight line and at a uniform speed towards the base of a vertical tower. Now top of the tower is observed from the car, and in the process it takes 10 minutes for the angle of elevation to change from 45 to 60. After how much more time will this car reach the base of the tower? Now I assume that this is tower A, B with height H, right? Now initially the car is over here, and from here the angle of elevation is 45 degree, and after 10 minutes the car is here and the angle of elevation is 60 degree, and this distance is being covered up in 10 minutes. Now we don't have the length, this length, I suppose this is C and this is D. Now we don't have length AC and CD. I assume this to be X and this to be Y, right? And this is a right angle triangle. Now we have to use the basic trigonometrical concepts over here, right? First of all, we have to find out the length Y and then length X, right? Now if I take triangle ABD, so in triangle ABD, this is H by X plus Y, that is perpendicular by base is tan theta, so that is tan 45 degree, and that is 1, right? Since tan 45 degree is 1, so H is equal to X plus Y. This is the first equation. Similarly, H by X from this triangle BAC, H by X is tan 60 degree, and that is root 3. So H is equal to X root 3. This is the second equation or second relation. Now we can put the value of H from this over here. So it's X root 3 is equal to X plus Y. So Y will be X root 3 minus 1. Now friends, we got this length. Now we have to find out the speed of the car. So speed is what? Distance by time. So that's X root 3 minus 1, that is distance, and this is time, right? So this is the speed. Now we have to find out the time when the car that the car takes from coming C to A, that's the to cover up the length X. Now this is distance and this is speed, so the time will be distance by speed. So it is X upon X into root 3 minus 1 by 10, right? So it's 10 upon root 3 minus 1. So we can rationalize it into root 3 plus 1 upon root 3 plus 1. So that's 10 times root 3 plus 1 by 3 minus 1, that is 2. So it's 5 times root 3 plus 1, right? Okay, the problem is very simple. You might have learned the basics of trigonometric identities and application of trigonometry in your grade 10. So the same you have to apply over here. I hope that's clear to you. Friends, now let's discuss a problem based on the properties of similar triangles. A piece of paper is in the shape of a right angle triangle and is cut along a line that is parallel to the hypotenuse, leaving a smaller triangle. There was a 35% reduction in the length of the hypotenuse of the triangle. If the area of the original triangle was 34 square inches before the cut, what is the area of the smaller triangle? Now I just draw the diagram first of all. Now this outer triangle, that's A, B, C, is the original triangle with the hypotenuse as BC, and this is the triangle that we are getting after reducing the length of the hypotenuse. Now suppose the original length of the hypotenuse is 100, now the length becomes 65 because there is a reduction of 35%. Okay, now we have to find out the area of maybe this triangle APQ, right? Area of triangle ABC is 34 square inches, and we have to find out the area of APQ. Now APQ and ABC, both of them are similar triangles, right? If two triangles are similar, then ratio of their area, suppose this is triangle, outer triangle area is A1 and the area of inner triangle is A2, then ratio of their areas is proportion to square of their sides, right? That means it's BC square by PQ square, right? Now what BC square? That's 100 square by 65 square. Now A1 is given to us as 34. I just put the value of A1. So 34 into 65 into 65 is equal to 100 into 100 into A2. Now A2 is unknown quantity that we have to calculate. 513, 520, 513, 54, 17. So precisely it is 17 into 13 into 13 by 200. And if you find this multiplication as difficult, you can go by even digital root method also, because after decimal 3 digits are there, and definitely this expression, the value of A2 will be a rational number, so you can get the value easily, right? So I just elaborate it over here. Just wait for a moment. So it's 34 into 65 into 65 is 100 square into A2, right? Now the digital root of 100 square will be 1 only. So on the left side, the digital root is 7 into the 6 plus 5, 11. That's 2 into 2. 7 2s are 14, 2s are 28. That means the digital root is 1 over here. Now we just have to see the digital root of A2, that should also be 1. Because the digital root of this is 1. So if A2 is 1, then the finally will be getting left hand side is equal to right hand side, right? So just check it up. It's 6, 7 plus 6, 13 plus 6, 19 plus 5, 24. It's not 10 or not 1. Similarly 6, 1, 7 plus 5, 12. 12 plus 6, 18. 18 plus 5, 23. It's 5, not 1. Is 4 plus 1, 5, and 5, 10 plus 9, that's 19, that's 1. So this is the correct option. Okay, so I hope you are clear. Now let's take this question. Here A is equal to 6, B is equal to 12C, and then which of the following pairs contain a number that's not an integer? Now friends, we can see B is there in both the relationships. Now we can assume the value of B such that this 2B becomes multiple of 9 as well as 12, right? So we'll be getting the integral values of D, E and C, right? So I assume suppose B to be 36. Randomly I'm just taking B as 36. Now A will be what? 6 into 36. That's 216. B we already know. That's 36. C will be 6 into 36 by 12. So that's 18. Then 9D is equal to 2B. That means 2 into 36 by 9. That's D. So D is 8. And similarly, E is 2 into 36 by 12. So it's 6. Right? So E is equal to 6. Now A is 216. B is 36. C is 18, D is 6 and E is 6. Now we can quickly put the values of A, B, C, D, E in the options, and we can get to know that which of them is not giving an integral value. Now this is C by D over here. So it's 18 by 8. That's not an integer. So probably D must be the correct choice. A by 6. that's 216, that is an integer, but c by d is not an integer, so it's containing a part that is not an integer, right? B into d if we see, and if we directly do not go to this option D, then we can just check up the other options. B into D, that is 36 into 8 by 18, that will be an integer. A by 12, that's an integer. C by E, that's 18 by 6, that's an integer. A by 36, that's an integer. So probably D is, and I just check it over here, B by E. So 36 by 6, that's also an integer. So except D, all of them are having the parts an integer. So D is the correct choice. Okay. Now friends, we have this question. A square tin sheet of side 12 inches is converted into a box with open top in the following steps. The sheet is placed horizontally, then equal size square each of side x inches are cut down from the four corners of the sheet. Finally, the four resulting sides are bent vertically upwards in the shape of a box. If x is an integer, then what value of x maximizes the volume of the box? Now suppose we have this square, and from this square we are cutting this sort of squares from the four ends, right? Now if this four squares are cut, then if we bend it vertically upwards, then we'll be getting a box. Okay, now we wish to get the maximum volume of this box, so we need to find out the size of this square, or the length of the side of the square. Now friends, if we cut x from this side and x from this side, so from the length it will be like the total length minus 2x. Now the total length is 12 inches, so the remaining length is 12 minus 2x, right? And from this side also it's 12 minus 2x, so the base area will be 12 minus 2x whole square, and height will be, since we are after cutting we are just folding it towards upside, so the height will be x inches only. So base area into height, that is volume of the box. Right, now we have to find out the value of x when the volume is maximum. Right, now we have the four options. What we can do is either you can put the value of x and you can go by, or you can go by the differentiation method. So probably in this case, if we put the value of x, that would be rather easier, right? Suppose we put x as 3, so 12 minus, I just write over here, so it's if x is 3, so it's 2 into 3, 6, so 12 minus 6, 6 square, that's 36 into 3, that's 108, right? So if we put x is equal to 3, then if we put x is equal to 4, so it's 4 2s are 8, 12 minus 8, 4, 4 square, 16 into 4, 64. In the second case, then if I put 1, so it's 12 minus 2, that's 10 square, that's 100. And if I put 2, so 12 minus 4, 8 square, that's 64 into 2, 128, right? So if I put x is equal to 2, I'll be getting maximum volume, right? So 2 will be our answer, right? Or else you can go by the application of derivatives method or by differentiation method, right? So I think this method will be rather easier for you to do, right? Further, we have a question based on trigonometry as well as time, speed and distance. So let's read the question first of all. Two straight roads R1 and R2 diverge from a point A at an angle of 120 degree. Ram starts walking from point A along R1 at a uniform speed of this, and Shyam starts walking at the same time from A along R2 at a uniform speed of 2 km per hour. Friends, I just draw the diagram for this. Here I am having this diagram. This is from point A and this angle is 120 degree. Now the first guy is moving towards this. Shyam starts walking here. It's at the same time from A along R2. So this is R2 and this is R1. And over here the speed is 3 km per hour. And here the speed is 2 km per hour. Now they continue walking for 4 hours along their respective roads and reach point B and C. Suppose this is point B and this is point C. Now if this guy is walking for 4 hours, he'll be covering 12 kilometers. So this is 12 kilometers the length, and this guy is walking for 4 hours with the speed 2. So this length must be 8 kilometers, right? Okay. Now there is a straight line path connecting B and C. So I just connect. So then Ram, this guy, returns to point A after walking along line segment CB and BC and CA. That means this plus this, right? So precisely this guy is covering this length plus this length, and the other person, that is Shyam, is covering this length plus this length, right? Now we have to find out the time interval between Ram and Shyam's return. So first of all, we have to find out the length of BC. The problem is a bit lengthy. First of all, must be knowing the cosine formula, how that is applied over here. Suppose this length is x. So what cosine formula is? Cos A, since we know this, so it's cos 120 degree is square of this plus square of this minus square of this. So it's 12 square plus 8 square minus x square over 2 into 12 into 8, right? So that's 144 plus 64 minus x square upon 2 into 12 into 8. And what cos 120 degree is? Friends, cos 120 degree is minus sin 30 degree, and sin 30 degree is minus 1 by 2. So I just put the value of this over here. Now I can get the value of x from this equation. So x square is equal to 144 plus 64 minus 96. I'm sorry, this is plus 96. So in all it is 304. X square is, or we can say this 4 root 19. That's the value of x. Okay. Now value of x is 4 root 19. Now the problem becomes simpler. Now this person has to cover up the length 4 root 19 plus 8, right? And with the speed of 3 km per hour, how much time will it take? It's 4 root 19 plus 8, that is the total distance, and this is by speed, that is the time taken by the first person, minus time taken by the second person is 4 root 19 plus 12 by 2. Now we just have to simplify that. It's 2, 4, 8 root 19 plus 16 minus 12 root 19 minus 36 by 6. Okay, so it's the answer will be negative, but we have to find out the difference, so no matters. I just, this minus 12 root 19 and 8 root 19, so it's 4 root 19 of negative, and this is minus 36 plus 16, so it's minus 20. So finally I have to find out the difference only, so I just cancel it. So it's 2 root 19 by 10, I'm sorry, plus 10 by 3, right? So that's option B, right? The problem is lengthy but not at all difficult. You must be knowing the cosine formula, because good number of questions based on sine formula and cosine formula are asked in CAT for so many years. So precisely this is the concept. I'm sure you are clear. Now friends, I'm going to take some questions from CAT 2004. This is the question based on similar triangles. A father and his son are waiting at a bus stop in the evening. There is a lamppost behind them. This is a lamppost. The lamppost, the father and his son are on the straight line. The father observes that the shadow of his head and son's head are incident at the same point on the ground over here. If the heights of lamppost, the father and his son are 6 meters, 1.8 meters and 0.9 meters respectively, and the father is standing 2.1, that means this length is 2.1 away from the post, then how far is the son standing from the father? So we have to find out this length. Okay. Now friends, I just mark A, B, C, D, P, Q. Now this is R. The triangle ABR, the triangle DCR and the triangle PQR, all of them are similar to each other, right? So in case of similar triangles, the sides are always in the ratio, right? Now I assume that this length to be Y. Now from this triangle, 6 upon 2.1 plus X plus Y is equal to 1.8 upon X plus Y is equal to 0.9 upon Y. So it's, if we take this 2, this is 2. So 2y is equal to x plus y, that means x is equal to y, right? Now I put the value of x is equal to y in this equation and compare these two. So it is 6 upon 2.1 plus y is equal to x I am putting. So it's 2x is equal to 1 upon x. I'm sorry, this is 0.9 by x. So it's 3 into 0.3 and this is 2. So it's 2x is equal to 2.1 into 0.3, that is 0.63 plus 2 into 0.3 is 0.6x. So 1.4x is equal to 0.63. So x is equal to 0.63 by 1.407. So it's 9 by 20, or we can say 0.45, right? So a simple application of similar triangles. I'm sure you are clear. Now let's take this question, a very simple problem based on ratio and proportion. A milkman mixes 20 liters of water, and this is milk. So 20 liters of water with 80 liters of milk. After selling 1/4 of this mixture, he adds. Now 1/4 is selling, so after that is left with 15 liters of water and 60 liters of milk. Now he adds water to replenish the quantity that he has sold. How much quantity he has sold? That is 80 plus 20, 100, and 1/4 of that, that means 25 liters he has already sold, and he is mixing 25 liters of water. So 15 was there, 25 liters is mixing, so in all it is 40 liters of water and 60 liters of milk. The ratio is 2:3, right? No complication is there. So do not look for any sort of shortcuts over here. It's just matter of 20-25 seconds only, right? Now friends, let's take this question on time, speed and distance. Karan and Arjun run a 100-meter race where Karan beats Arjun by 10 meters. To do a favor to Arjun, Karan starts 10 meters behind the starting line in a second 100-meter race. So that means Karan and Arjun. So Karan beats Arjun by 10 meters. That means what? In the time when Karan runs 100 meter, Arjun just runs 90 meters. Now for the second case, Karan starts 10 meters behind the starting line in a second 100-meter race. That means Karan is running for 110 meters, and see, in the same time when Karan is running for 100 meters, Arjun is running for 90 meters. So when Karan is running for 110 meters, Arjun will be running 99 meters, right? So for the second case, difference is like what? That's 1 meter, because the length of the race is 100 meters, right? So when Karan is covering 110 meters, Arjun is covering 99 meters. So from the deadline, he is just 1 meter like far or behind, right? So that means Karan beats Arjun by 1 meter. Yeah, I hope you are clear. Now the next question is, if n persons stand on a circumference d of a circle at distinct points, each possible pair of person not standing next to each other sings a 2-minute song, one pair after the other. If the total time taken for singing is 28 minutes, what is n? So every song is for 2 minutes, and in all it is taking 28 minutes. That means in all 14 songs were sung, right? Now they are standing across the circumference of a circle, right? So this is precisely the circle, and these persons are like this. We don't know what is the number, just taking an example. Now according to the question, suppose we pick up this person A. He can sing the song with this, this and this. I'm sorry, with this and this, right? This, this and this, but not with these two persons, right? Okay, that means if you had attended my permutation and combination lecture, I have discussed this particular concept when we have to calculate the number of diagonals in a polygon, right? So if I have a polygon, maybe a hexagon, I just draw it over here. See, here you can see we have 1, 2, 3 and more diagonals in this hexagon, right? I haven't drawn all the diagonals. We can get it by like this also, right? Like this. So see, how do we get diagonal? Diagonal is a combination of 2 points which are not adjacent, right? So see, this is the combination of this point, this and this and this, except this two combination and this combination, right? Similarly, this combination and this combination. That means diagonal is a combination of 2 points which are not adjacent to each other, right? In a particular polygon, if we talk about, right? So the same case we can apply over here, that we are to the number of diagonals in this case is 14, right? Because 14 songs are being sung. Okay, so we have to just find out what is the number of vertices in this polygon, right? It is just an application of this particular like question, right? When we have to calculate the number of diagonals in a particular polygon, right? Now how to calculate number of diagonals in a particular polygon? That's of n sides, it's nc2 minus n, right? All the diagonals are achieved by or obtained by the combination of two points minus number of sides is the total number of diagonals, right? So in this case, nc2 minus n is 14, right? Because 14 diagonals we are getting. It is just an application, right? This person and this person. If you make a combination, we'll be getting one diagonal. If we make the combination, we'll be getting one diagonal from this and this one diagonal, right? So precisely nc2 minus n is 14. So we have to calculate the value of n over here. So n minus 1 by 2 minus n is equal to 14. So n minus 1 minus 2n is equal to 28. So n square minus 3n is equal to 28, or minus 28 is equal to 0. So n minus 7, n plus 4 is 0. So n is equal to 7, right? So if you know the concept of diagonal, you can do this sum very easily and quickly. Yeah. Now, if sum of the first 11 terms of an arithmetic progression equal to first 19 terms, and what the sum of first 30 terms? Now, I assume that the first term is A and the common difference is D, right? A first term and D is the common difference. Then what will be the sum of first 11 terms? That's 11 by 2, that's n by 2, 2A plus n minus 1, that's 10 into d, right? So this is sum of first 11 terms, and that's equal to sum of first 19 terms. So that's n by 2, 2a plus 19 minus 1, that's 18d, right? So it's 22a plus 110d is equal to 38a plus 19 into 18, that's 342d, right? Now 38 minus 22, 16a plus 232d is equal to 0. Now we have to find out the sum of first 30 terms. So that's 30 by 2, 2a plus 29d. So that we have to calculate. From this, we just have this expression in our hand. So just take 8 as common. So we'll be getting 2a plus 29d. That's 0. So either this or this is 0. Now 8 cannot be 0. So 2a plus 29d is 0, right? Now the sum of first 30 terms is this, where 2a plus 29d is 0. That means 30 by 2, that's 15 into 0 is 0. That means sum of first 30 terms is just 0. Okay? I hope you are clear. Now friends, let's see this question. If a man cycles at 10 km per hour, then he arrives at a certain place at 1 p.m. If he cycles at 15 km per hour, he will arrive at the same place at 11 a.m. Now I assume that the distance that he is covering is x kilometer, right? So when x kilometer he drives at 10 km per hour, he'll be taking this much time, and when x kilometer with the speed of 15, he'll be taking this much time, and the difference between both the time is like 1 p.m. and 11 a.m., that is 2 hours, right? So by this we can calculate the value of x, that's distance. So it's 15 minus 10, that is 5x by 150 is equal to 2. So the distance which he is covering is 60 kilometer, right? Now distance he has to cover is 60 kilometer, and time which is having is 5 hours. Now that's 60 by 10, that's 6 hours over here, and 4 hours over here. So the 12 noon is in between, so it's 5 hours. So the speed is 12 kilometer per hour, right? No need to go for any sort of shortcut, because that would take even more time if you start thinking for a shortcut, right? Because the calculation and the concept, both of them are really very simple. Okay, so the answer is 12 kilometer per hour. Friends, we'll take more problems from CAT 2004 in our next session. Do revise this session and the basic sessions of quantitative aptitude. I'll see you in the next session. Once again, bye bye.